Dun, dun, dun.
Da da da.
Da, 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 da. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm playing Toodles.
Ooh.
We gotta play that with you
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah, you do.
I think,
You've been making me play by myself.
yeah, I think
Sorry.
next week we'll be able to play it.
Yeah, I think we're
Yay.
Are we planning on maybe streaming
I
it
think
next
we
week?
should stream it.
Yeah, I think we're gonna stream it next week.
Yeah. We can do
Yeah.
it. And I can tell you all the stuff because everyone's been like, who's this character? I didn't watch the 1987 cartoon. I'm glad you asked. So let me explain.
Yeah.
Jax will
This character
let
was
us know.
actually from the comic books, but they were not popular enough, so they got redesigned.
Are you guys talking about playing Shredder's Revenge?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing it next week, Paleo. You better join, or I'll beat you up.
I'll join.
I'll drive to your house to give you a wedgie.
You should do it anyways. Just beat him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bullying Paleo's fun. It's
Like
good
it-
for my mental health.
Yeah. like in the thumbnail for the How to YouTube video.
Exactly. Exactly. We're just hanging him up like a little dweeb. Oh shit! Oh god! I keep looking at my TMNT video because I think it recently shot up like 60,000 views. Like I guess because everything else. So it's like it's been stuck at like 9,900. 999 998. So it's just like 2 views. Just give me my 2 views. Come on, come on.
Everyone-
2 people watch it.
I've started seeing it and a bunch of like recommended. I was like, I've already watched this though.
Oh, nice.
So Paleo refused to click it again. He said,
It's 1 million. It's hit the million.
Yay!
Oh, there we go. Ah! I'm gonna post that on Twitter. Now I have to do more.
This isn't your first video that's hit 1 million.
No, it's not. But it's like I don't do these type of videos. I'm the nerdy fitness workout guy. So like that was why I was like skeptical about doing it. But the fact they just hit 1 million is just like, oh my god.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Congratulations, Jax.
Thank you.
I'm happy to share this moment. What are you trying to
Yes. It's so fresh.
do? So fresh. Oh man, we're gonna be talking about things today. Like things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
We're gonna talk about a bunch of things.
we're gonna talk. I was gonna say it might be. I'm saying this just as anticipatory, but this might be a lighter podcast here today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
If it is, then it is. Sarah just hit the post button. Imagine if you didn't hit post.
Well,
So-
is Gabe not here? Is he doing shit?
Well, I did remind him like 3 minutes ago. So
Okay.
And I know that I've come to realize that a lot of the times when I remind him, I feel like Sarah.
Huh?
Real quick, can you adjust this so we're not in that area?
Sure.
Check. All right, that should be all right. Folks, we just did a volume adjustment, so let us know if we sound quiet. Specifically, Sarah sounds quiet. But yeah, no, I've come to realize that Gabe oftentimes is like off to dinner, usually around the times that we start these podcasts, which is why he often misses it because I text him as we're starting and he's already
like sitting down. For something.
No.
But yeah, we're gonna be doing food posts here soon.
Yeah.
Hashtag.
Quiet Storm is actually our new moderator. I don't think I touched on that last time, but we do have a new moderator.
Well, congratulations, Quiet Storm!
Yes.
Quiet Storm's been a longtime supporter of the podcast and just a lot of us in general. I just found out about this. I forget. Did you tell me?
I think I did.
No, you didn't. I don't forget things. Did you tell me?
I did.
Are you sure?
I did.
Well, let's not include this in the show. Otherwise...
Or maybe, you know what? I probably did. I was like, should we make Quiet Storm a moderator? And then you were like, maybe. and I just went ahead and just did the executive decision to do it.
That sounds like my me putting my foot down. Maybe.
But yeah,
I demand to have a say.
Our
Maybe.
new moderator has put the hashtag in there for you guys, and I'm also going to bring it up here on screen.
Cool. Well, thank you, Quiet Storm, for helping us with moderating. So big round of applause in the chat for our Quiet Storm. I already see the clapping hands.
Golf clap.
Yeah.
Yeah, golf clap, yay!
Whatever this sounds like.
Yeah.
All right.
Clap.
Well, sir, what?
I'll put in my headphones.
Thank you, Jax. Thank you, sir. I was about to say, I'm like,
I think I hear myself.
I hear something, but Jax already.
Let me find them. Let me find where'd they go. Hold on. Oh God.
A teaser.
Spoilers. A teaser. So, yeah.
Do we all also want to touch on Elvis?
We can. We could touch on it. Very non-spoilery touch. All right. Well, shall we?
Yeah.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on into the Semi-Perfect Podcast. It is June 29th, 2022, and we're happy to have our live audience on hand. And, for those watching on delay, hello. So it is another Wednesday. It is frickin' hot. Gas prices are terrible. Life's been interesting. But here on the Semi-Perfect Podcast, we hope you can enjoy yourselves for the next hour or two as we go over some goofy who knows what.
Yeah.
We got a couple of topics that we're going to be hitting on, specifically some movies that have recently come out. Ones that I think people have some pretty hefty opinions on.
Yeah.
So looking forward to this bit of conversation that we'll dive into here. First off, we always like to start things with the hashtag SPP Foods, the food posts that everybody gets to share. Now, I was extraordinarily hungry today when I got home, so I did have some chips and guac. Sarah finished off the lime chips because she's mean.
Yeah, but we had regular tortilla chips.
At
least.
Crumbs. Those, okay, so as Sarah gets situated here, what are your guys' opinions of tortilla chips? Like, what is, the ultimate tortilla chip? Is it just regular tortilla chip with some light salt? Is it heavily salted? Is it the lime addition to the tortilla chip? What is the making of a great tortilla chip?
I do like the lime, but especially when I'm
see.
eating guacamole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guacamole. Guac. Tortilla chip. I just like nacho cheese on them.
Yeah.
I like good old tortilla. Well, I like the ones from Chipotle at times.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
They're sometimes, because sometimes they're good, but then sometimes they're very dry, and then sometimes they have an aftertaste. You let it sit in your mouth and then the flavor comes. It's weird. I like those ones, but I like just a nice salty tortilla chip that is ready to be coated in queso.
I hear you. Yeah. No, and
no.
What?
No, I'm just scrolling through the food posts, and I see Amazars. You'll see it when you get.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, let's dive into these.
Looking forward.
Let's dive into these. So Sarah's going to switch us over. Rafi says, so I'm watching the Semi-Perfect Podcast to see updates from others for new bronies react while enjoying deep dish pizza that seen in Winnie City PonyCon 22. Is it MLPFIM rewatch to blah, blah, blah? What? So look at this picture of pizza.
Yeah.
Look at this picture of pizza.
Is it the one that burned me? I don't want to look at those anymore. traumatized. I
Jack,
feel
you
like
have-
it's like Harry
That's-
Potter, where he got burned, he got his scar.
Jack,
Every
you
time
have
I see it now, I just feel it in
But
my mouth.
forgiveness. Remember, it's
That looks
love.
like that looks like a lot of sauce.
Well, okay, so it's a deep dish pizza, so
It's all sauce.
it's not. So it's a little. It might look a little confusing here, but like there's a lot going on. From this, if you don't know deep dish pizza, this just looks like they just didn't put the cheese on the pizza.
the cheese.
Right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
what you're seeing here. That's not the case.
Yeah.
It's
hard.
inside
Yeah.
Okay.
You want it in you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
1 mil.
Okay. Well, very nice deep dish. And to tease, yes, there is a Bronies React that is in the works, but it is very early in the works as of
Yeah.
right now. So don't be anticipating anything too soon.
Yeah.
All right. What's next? Nathaniel.
Nathaniel says, here's a nice Philly cheesesteak I got with a side of fries that I had while I was waiting for my flight back to Dallas in the Philadelphia airport the other day. Definitely pretty filling. Nice.
Definitely pretty filling. Oh yeah.
Looks good.
Mmm.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Hi.
Oh.
How's it going? Good.
Jeff said, "Oh," but he sounded so disappointed. I was like, "Oh, I'm saying
Oh. Steven.
it's that."
Those two. Those
Hyper.
people.
We just started going through food posts.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nathaniel's
Also,
having
your,
a Philly cheesesteak.
A Philly cheesesteak.
Yes, Paleo?
No, I was gonna say Laura and Sarah sounded kind of choppy.
I think it's because we're still getting stuff kind of set up.
What's going on?
I feel like
Sorry.
somebody sounded.
Ecstatic.
Choppy.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, like it's cutting in and out.
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably the.
See, like I'll
Right.
never know what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
said. I just heard it's probably the and then
That's all he said.
oh, you got me.
Trying to find that in between like not letting it echo, but also y'all can hear us. I think it should be good.
All right. So very nice airport food, and then anime guy says tonight I got some Culver's, a double cheeseburger, cheese curds, and a large Diet Pepsi. I'm also rocking my Black Griffin merch. Finally got some clothing. Waited way too long to get some.
Nice.
Let's see these. Let's see these pictures. Okay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. When I go to Culver's, I have to get their custard. It's a
I've
must.
never had Culver's.
You've never had Culver's?
Neither have
all the
I.
times we've been. Well, I don't even. Now I'm trying to think. Like I feel like the most recent time I've gotten Culver's was in like Idaho, which is not a place that we go often, is
Yeah.
Who goes to Idaho?
it? Listen here, okay? I love potatoes.
Well, there you go.
Love them. All right, Sarah. What's our next?
Potatoes.
Food? Potatoes. Jory.
Jory says, good way to end an exhausting work week. Three Amigos burrito, chips, and queso.
Three Amigos burrito.
Ooh.
What is it? Where is this from? Let's see. Sabor Latin Street Grill. Dang, those chips look legit. You know what this reminds me of? The
What?
Chewy's
Chipotle?
chips.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is Chewy's even a thing for you guys? That might be a West Coast thing.
Nope.
Chili's.
Chili?
Chewy's.
Baby.
C-H-U-Y-S.
Race.
Yeah.
You just reminded me of something. Okay, so you remember that whole Pazuki thing
Yeah.
Yeah.
that you were talking about? Okay, so I asked like several friends about this. Like I went and talked to other people. Like, do you know what a Pazuki is? And like I just call that like a skillet cookie. I call it this. And so we looked into it, and we found out that Pazukis is patented to a restaurant called like BJ's.
Yeah.
And so like it is only in a certain area, so only a certain like people would call it a Pizookie, but majority of other people don't call it that.
I thought
I
it
was just like, what?
Wasn't
Yeah,
it
so
called-
like when you were like saying like everyone calls it a Pizookie,
No.
I was like, what the fuck?
Well, everyone over here knows it as that, but
Okay, so that's why I started because like cause
Maybe I did say that.
Sid about that too, because Sid was like, oh, I call that like a iron.
Well,
I
you're
forget what
all
it was.
wrong. This is why you're, geez, West Coast, Best Coast, yo.
Well, it's patented to the restaurant. Like it even has like that symbol.
We go there all the time, which is probably why we're like, oh, it's just like.
But I thought
it's
that's
just
what
normal.
it was. Wasn't that what
No.
it was called at the restaurant we were at? It must not have been. What was it called? It had to have a name.
No, it was called like I think it was just called a skillet cookie.
Ain't no way.
And you just
Because, like,
assume that
literally,
it
that's
was
what-
a Pizookie.
It was a Pizookie.
No, it's not because it's not from
I mean,
BJ.
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
All right.
Hey,
Well,
fun fact:
apparently.
Jeffrey's had a
Yeah.
BJ at BJ's, and that's because there's a drink there.
no. You don't need to explain, Sarah. Just leave it at that.
No, it's some.
I've had a BJ at BJ's,
Yeah, I bet.
and my wife is the one who wanted everyone to know. What were you gonna say? then?
It is a like it's a like I guess a party shot or something like that. Somebody bought him and his friend.
They're blowjobs.
Yeah, they're called blowjobs.
They're like, here you go, it's a
And
blowjob. And
it's
I'm like, I'm not putting that in my mouth.
It's some sort of drink with like a whipped cream topping, and the trick is that
It was
you
in
have
Deadpool.
You have to drink it without like your hands.
Yeah.
You have to
I
take it in your mouth.
thought that you meant, Sarah, that you gave him a blowjob. I'm like, wow, Sarah's been very casual about this.
In a restaurant, of all places.
Yeah, and Jeffrey like stopped me in my tracks, so everybody for like 2 minutes was thinking that I was saying
Oh, that was so not what I wanted them to think. Oh.
we got Fort Canyon.
Yeah, a keto chicken Brussels sprout casserole, but I didn't eat it. Eat it yet?
Didn't eat
Yet.
it yet.
Didn't eat it yet. Yet.
Parentheses yet.
Yet. There's lots of yet here. So
It
if
looks
it's
good.
keto, what does that mean? What is it lacking if it
Carbs
carbs?
and sugar.
No carbs or sugar.
No sugar with chicken Brussels sprout casserole? I couldn't have even imagined. What's this one?
Got Nora Mermaid. Hey, pod peeps. I had dinner earlier before the show, which was white rice, Maduro's sweet plantains, and picadillo. To make my sweet tooth happy, I had some chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream. Also, check out my eyes. Love you guys.
Okay, what's picadillo?
It's the plantains. She had it in parentheses. Sweet plantains. Oh no, that's Maduro. Sorry. Picadillo is something else. I don't know.
Well, thanks for
I
trying
think
to.
it's a restaurant.
Uh.
I think, I don't know.
Ah.
I mean,
And there's the ice cream.
Now, is there any surprise that Nora would have the ice cream right next to the sticker that's flipping me off? I noticed that. I did notice.
Yeah.
Nice eyes, Nora.
Yes.
All right, Princess Deadpool says, "Hey, it's been a while. Life is weird right now, but tonight I busted out the frozen burger patties and a cast iron skillet to make a burger and some fries. It's hump day. Everyone should indulge for making it this far."
Nice. It looks delicious.
The skillet.
I like that Rainbow Dash.
the Zook burger.
Don't start with me. Y'all's
That was the cookie there. So.
yeah. Someday I'll show you, I guess, a real Pizookie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what about Rainbow Dash?
I did this acrylic standee of Rainbow Dash. It looks like. Well, I mean, like I feel like I've seen almost everything on this table before, except for the Rainbow
I
Dash.
see some Power Rangers medallions
Ooh.
Oh.
right there.
Ooh, fancy.
I see a lava lamp.
I wonder if the Rainbow Dash is new.
Ah,
Time for the power sword.
well,
Dun, 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 dun,
that's a
dun.
good thing. All right. Oh no! All right,
Yeah,
Ambazar.
that's what I was talking about.
Ambazar just says Subway.
Paper and everything.
I hope
nothing goes to waste with Ambazar.
I hope that tasted good, Ambazar. now, what diet would that be, Jax?
I don't know,
Wrapper and
fiber.
all.
Yeah.
Oh.
I just took a bite out the fucking paper.
I'm impressed, always. By the way, we have a super chat from Nora saying, no, it's flipping Saber and Paleo off.
Referring to her sticker.
The sticker's flipping Saber and Paleo off.
Why them specifically?
Why not? Well, I mean, I can't argue with Nora's logic here, so.
It's because you're the favorite. Well, except for me, of course.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Princess
And
Deadpool.
obviously, I'm second to Gabe, so.
Princess Deadpool had an addition to the food post saying, I just added a weed edible. Let's see how much more interesting it makes you all.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh, God.
Elwin just says, I haven't had dinner yet, but I'm going to have homemade chicken thighs with a homemade marinade and potatoes.
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 Well, very nice.
I think that was all of them.
Sarah's double checking to
Double
make
check.
sure. I think we're
I
good.
think so, yeah.
All right. So yes, we are. Again, we're here. We're here. Let's catch up with folks. How about Saber and Laura? We could start with you guys. Anything new?
Well, last week or not last week, the week before, I guess.
Yeah.
We were not here because we went to go see Game Grumps live.
How was it?
It was amazing. I had a fantastic time.
Yeah.
You guys sounded like you were still having a fantastic time
On the
afterwards.
drive home, yeah.
I think I recall Jax like being like, Saber, you're not driving. Saber, you driving?
Yeah.
No, I was worried. Yeah, I was just like, wait, what? Okay, like I was just like,
How else am I supposed to drive?
Yeah, I thought the show was gonna go a little bit later, so when we got out, and I was like, oh, they're still doing the podcast.
No, it was an interesting event. Those guys definitely got it down to an art, and I guess just kind of grasping the logistics of it all. But yeah, good energy. It was a good show.
Nice.
Very cool. Very cool. I always like to, whenever I end up in kind of a setting like that, it's always nice to, I feel like, kind of be in the audience and get an idea how others do their shows and be like, oh, okay. Yeah. So glad you guys enjoyed yourselves. Now, that was a drive for you guys, wasn't it?
Yes, so we went to Raleigh, North Carolina. We have a couple friends who used to live very close to us and now had to move for work. But so they've been there for a little over a year, I think now, right?
And less than, but all close to it.
Okay. But yeah, so they were like, hey, we're very close by. Let's go to the show and you guys can stay here. So we stayed for a couple days and it was pretty great.
Nice.
nice.
Well, very good. What about Paleo? Anything new?
Who, me?
No, the other one.
Oh,
Who, me? Yeah, when I beat freaking Samus again, she's so hot. But I fucking just famous.
not much watching movies. Cause me and my dad, we were going to go to go see Top Gun Maverick on Father's Day, but it was very full, so we saw Lightyear, which was my second time seeing that again.
Oh,
then
why?
Yeah, because my dad hadn't seen it yet, so we went to go see it.
Yeah.
And then just this past weekend we went to go see Top Gun Maverick, and it still was packed. It's a movie that's had a lot of it's got a lot of legs.
Mm-hmm.
I heard of people say that it's a lot better than the original.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
is
there's
that-
actually there's actually a mission involved.
Yeah, I always found that weird about the first Top Gun, where I was I'm like, do they do anything in this movie? Oh yeah, in the last 5 minutes.
It was they fly and play volleyball and I guess do something at the very end.
Yeah.
But with this, oh no, there's a clear-cut mission that they have to do.
Yeah.
But I will say it was one of the weirder theater experiences I've had because this movie has attracted a lot of old people.
Well, yeah, of course.
It came out in the 80s. It's a classic
Yeah,
80s flick.
but I mean, still like old people.
I mean, like, if you're 20 in the 80s, like, what? Like, you're probably in your 60s, right? Or something like...
Yeah. So it has it attracted a lot of people who have not been to the theater in like 2 decades or more.
Yeah.
So a lot of them do not know movie theater etiquette, and I was like, this is the worst audience I've ever seen a movie with.
Really?
Like,
I would think the old school folk would be even harder core, but they were worse.
yeah, because they haven't been to the movies in a long time.
They're like, hey, Marianne, pass me my dentures.
Yeah.
Like people who like don't know how to find their seat. Like there's multiple people coming up to me and my dad like thinking that we were in their seats.
Oh, I can see that doing it. That's a little newer.
Are you in our seat?
That's a newer thing, but also like people like talking during the beginning of the movie, and I'm like, oh, please shut up. Like,
Tell them.
and
What are they gonna do?
Thankfully, things did quiet down as they were like getting into the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, man, like this is almost worse than Kids. Like,
Go
Because they're old and this.
because for kids, it's like, oh, they're little kids. Like they're just like knowing, like just going to the movies like for the first time or whatever.
Yeah.
But for this is like, man, you guys should know better. You know, like,
Come on, old people.
Come
do
on,
better.
old people. You should do better. Do better.
Oh. Well, at least you gotta go see it.
yeah.
So was that your first time seeing it too?
Yeah, I did.
Oh.
That was my first time seeing it because like
Oh, that sucks.
It had been like selling out like for the past few weeks. So
Damn.
That sucks seeing like a good movie with like an annoying crowd because it's just
Yeah.
like it makes it even more just like shut the fuck up. Come on now.
Like, seriously.
What about Jax? Anything new?
I'm in a good mood because my video just hit 1 million views, my TMNT video,
Woo!
which
Oh, you
I
did.
originally didn't want. Oh, I was hesitant to do because I'm the nerdy anime fitness guys. Like I can't talk about that. It's a job for the Sabersparks and the Tommy Olivers and all those people. And I was just like, I don't want. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it anyways. So I thought like it was gonna cap around like, I don't know, like 10,000 views, and then it just kept growing and growing. I guess like recently it shot up like 70,000 views this week, just because I guess everyone's in a TMNT frenzy because it's on Netflix and this game. But it's really cool. Like it's really cool just to see that. Like I'm happy that
it
got
might
it.
pop up again once the Rise movie comes out.
Oh yeah, probably. So I have to do freaking the Rise TMNT movie. I have to review that. Everyone's asking for that. So that'll be nice. But like that's a good thing. I've been playing the TMNT game a lot, so that's been fun, super fun to do. Just to go through. Like I love every little Easter egg they throw in. Like a lot of my friends have been messaging me, like, "All right, who is this fucking villain? I have no idea who this is." It's like it's from the '80s show. I didn't watch that. Who is this? And it's just that's Tempestra. She was in this. It's like I don't know what is it? And it's just like that's been fun. And then my program that I've been working on for months and months and months is finally getting done. I finally got an artist to finish stuff for it, so that should be done.
Sweet.
Workout stuff is done, and then yeah, I'm just just working. That's all I can do.
Nice.
And, yeah.
Well, very good. Glad that we got you in a good mood.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some food. Also, I came to a realization because I was super busy the last week, so I was like literally just like door dashing. But like beforehand, I was like so focused on like cooking my meals because I'm also doing a cookbook coming out later this year. Because like I learned like a lot of people have an issue with food stuff, and it's just like a thing with like the food they're eating. Like it's just like they either go too strict or they go like if it fits your macros, which like messes up their organs, stuff like that. And then it's just like I know the perfect balance for that, so I'm making a cookbook of that stuff. So like for a while I was just like door dashing, and then like I was like I think like after the 5th day I was like I actually kind of prefer my own food now. So I was like, oh yeah, this is a flex. I just fucking hate cleaning up the kitchen afterwards, but like yeah, it's fun. So yeah,
Good.
doing the biz.
Nice.
stuff.
When is that coming out? Because I want it.
Oh, cool. I'll probably be out hopefully by August, if not most definitely before the New Year's up. I'm trying to find.
Hey,
I'm
dude.
asking all my like fitness friends, like, what are some recipes you really like for this? Because like one of the things that I found that just helps a lot is just doing like volume meals where it's like, instead of like, you enjoy burgers, but if you eat this type of burger, it'll fuck you up. But you like this type of burger, you can eat this way. Or like you enjoy pizza. All right, well, I can make you a tasty pizza like this. And then like a key thing I found with like the diet stuff that I found from fitness friends, like you don't want it too good, but you don't want it like disgusting, because if it's too good, people overeat it no matter what. So if it's like healthy for you, people are gonna eat it and still gain weight. But if it's like good enough where it's like, I can eat this on a daily basis and it's like benefiting me, then that's like the proper way. But I'm trying to get it like the taste a bit up on it. But yeah, it should be out sometime in August. I'm really trying to get it out by August.
Cool. Damn, August. Oh wow, that's very soon.
Yeah, I know. I got like 30 different recipes, and like I'm just trying to get the way I want to model them. So yeah.
Nice.
All right.
Yes.
Well, very good. Sarah, is there anything new with you or me?
Aww. Not really. I feel like we haven't done too much.
Yeah, we've had kind of
in
a
the last
quiet
2 weeks.
couple weeks.
Been playing video games?
Playing video games.
That with me.
Yeah.
We've been very plugged into Sea of Thieves lately.
Yeah.
It's very addicting.
There's gonna be a lot of content coming out with that. Outside of that, I've just been working on getting now the Winnie City PonyCon vlogs out. So those are releasing as we speak. I put out the How to YouTube panel from that convention. It was Jax, Paleo, and I on the panel for that one. And yeah, so those vlogs are coming out, and there'll be more over the next week, and then
Our little filler episodes.
No, there's been obviously a lot with 2 conventions in a row. A lot of editing and whatnot to get out with that stuff. So luckily it is it's starting to streamline a little bit better now that I have everything that I need for the uploads. I was waiting for to get some kind of cleaner audio and whatnot for some of the panels. So now that I'm all set, expect more uploads over the next few days for that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, Sarah, we have a couple of topics on our podcast here.
Podcaster.
And I think, let's see here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So why don't we start actually with the one that you mentioned?
Oh, Elvis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this isn't going to be
No.
a
just- we're
spoilery
gonna touch on
talk.
it.
Sarah and I saw Elvis last night, the movie with Tom Hanks, not as Elvis.
Yeah.
For a second, I thought you were saying like we saw Elvis. I was like, isn't he dead? And then I was like, oh,
He
my
is.
brain just
What?
collapsed. I was like,
When?
A long time ago.
Guys, spoilers for the movie. Seriously, come on now.
Wasn't that a whole thing for like a long time? It's like, no, Elvis is still alive.
No, that is a thing, because there were
Yeah,
people who were like, oh, I just saw the King, and then it would be like an actual thing of like there was phenomenons of people seeing Elvis, like actually Elvis, and it was just like it was weird.
With Hitler.
Yeah, or like
Walt Disney.
Tupac. What the fuck is that?
So anyways, so yeah, like I said, we're not going to be even touching near spoilers for this, but just kind of give overall thoughts.
Yeah, we had seen the trailer so many times because we make it a point to go to the movies every Tuesday, basically, when there's movies out. So we saw this trailer a whole lot, and it just became like a iconic part of our conversations, just being like, because Tom Hanks has like a line in there where he's like, we're just both lonely children reaching out towards eternity.
So we
And
would
he
like
has,
throw
like,
that
this
into like
accent.
conversations. So when it happened in the movie, Sarah and I were like,
But yeah, it was actually it's a very good film. I enjoyed it. It's like almost 3 hours, but it's very well paced.
Elvis?
hmm?
Is Tom Hanks Elvis?
No, he's the manager,
Yeah,
the
he's-
mismanager, if you will.
Yeah, it's basically half about the story of Elvis, and then it's told from the perspective of his manager, who was a horrible person.
I won't name names,
Right.
but like there were some bits of it where Sarah and I were like, this reminds us of somebody that we know who had a manager that wasn't that great.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I like Sarah said, like this movie's 2 hours and 40 minutes long,
Yeah.
but it is not
It
a movie
doesn't
that
feel
feels
like one.
like
Okay.
I think back to was it the Batman? Was that one like 3 hours?
That
Yeah.
one's about 3 hours.
And I remember that one. I almost wish I knew it was that long going into it, because I was like, my God, it's still going.
Yeah.
I did not feel like that was 3 hours, honestly. I was just so into it.
With the Batman.
Yeah.
I think, like I said, I think my issue was that there were multiple times where I thought the movie was wrapping up, and then they were like,
And then it didn't.
nope, and I was like, oh Jesus, how long is this movie?
It's nicer to know how long the movie is for you to mentally prepare.
At least, I've come to learn that about myself, I guess, very recently. But going into this, I knew it was going to be longer, but at the same time, I like how they put this movie together.
Yeah.
It's visually pleasing, and yeah, I'll be curious to if anyone else sees it, what they think of it. But
Did it have a stinger with like Johnny Bravo at the end, like picking up the sunglasses?
at the end of the movie, all I'll say is that at the end of the movies, in the credits, it did say Elvis will return.
Oh. Yeah.
I do that. Like, I now say that with every movie I go to.
Yeah.
It's like Elvis will return.
Will return. Wait, what? Oh. Just comes, breaks through the screen like freaking Porky Pig. Oh.
But no, I thought the main actor who played Elvis did a really good job.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. No spoiler. No spoilers. Whatever. All right. But like, did they get to him in his later part of his life where he was eating like those giant ass sandwiches every single day?
They don't really touch on it.
It only touched on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
They just kind of talk about where his it's more I guess like story wise I would say it's mostly before all that, but then they do touch on like where his health was at, and
Hang up you on Stitch.
No.
I was looking for them the whole time, I swear.
A roller coaster, bro.
But no, it was. There are also bits in the movie that really surprised me, and when I say that again, I don't even think this is spoilery, but I won't exactly say what it is. Just that all I'll say is that I felt like if I was walking by the theater at certain points of the movie, I would have never in my life guessed that was the Elvis movie I was walking by.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and if you see it, you'll know what I mean.
I mean, I don't feel like it's that.
Go for it.
It's like they did like a mixture of like modern music and Elvis music
Oh
together.
yeah, like the Hound Dog. Like that was in the trailer, right?
It
There might have been a trailer
I know the
with
song
it.
you're talking about.
Yeah, the Hound Dog
Yeah.
one. Like that was in like the trailers where like a bunch of them was like,
But yeah, there's also like parts where also that's like a rap song, and I'm like, oh, okay.
okay.
Oh, but it's not like Elvis rapping. It's like,
Oh.
right?
Come to my house.
I mean, in the context, I don't know, it does make a little bit of sense for like the music to be the way it is, but I mean, it is it's two very different sounding things, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was our thoughts on Elvis. I don't know if like I said, I would say it was probably one of my favorite movies I've seen this year.
Wow.
So.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I liked it. Now I did grow up a little bit with Elvis, as most of us did, our generation. He was big in our lives, of course. My grandmother on my dad's side gave me a cassette tape of Elvis when I was, 10.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom was like, "Is this a good idea?
Like, is he old enough to listen?
Is he old enough to listen to Elvis music?" And I was like,
What?
I remember as a kid, even up to now, I was like, I don't fully understand her concern, but I'm like, okay, I guess he was kind of rebellious, and if that's what you remember of Elvis, but it's like, okay. I just remember I was confused because I'm like, there's not even one bad word.
Yeah. No, I feel like she would be more concerned if you were actually, like, had a video, like, of his concerts or whatever, because he wiggles.
I would be inspired. God, where I would be.
Where women are throwing panties at him on the stage. Yeah.
Well, the important thing is, like, since, Tom Hanks was in it, like, how did, like, Forrest Gump, his cameo show up? Like, how was that? Like, he stole all his moves. Like that's canon in the Elvis lore.
That's right. Okay. Actually, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, there you go.
They did touch upon
It's
that.
not canon in the Forrest Gump lore. It's canon in the Elvis lore.
Yes, Laura.
Exactamundo.
That's probably why Tom Hanks was there in the first place.
Exactly.
He was
Were they
also.
going to recast Forrest Gump? I don't think so.
They were like, "Yo, we got this." He's like, "I also manage a guy named Forrest Gump."
Yeah.
That was my impression.
Of Elvis?
No.
Oh, okay.
Of whatever the frick his manager is.
Yeah.
Did they mention the story about him pulling over a plane?
Him pulling over a plane?
So, long story short, Elvis was like at this bar. This is a true story. Where he saw this voice actor. The story goes. This voice actor is like kind of just bragging about himself, being like, "I got this federal narcotics badge." I know y'all probably like seriously won't bullshit us. This is true. This is on drug history. And the voice actor is bragging about the badge, being like, "I have the ability to like pull anybody over. Like, gives me full jurisdiction to whatever the fuck I want." And Elvis is like, "Well, fuck. Like, if a voice actor can get that, then I can get that." And he actually, that picture where he shakes hands with Nixon? That was part of it. Because he wanted to go get a badge. And he asked Nixon, he's like, I'll get my hands on one of these. Nixon's like, "Let's shake hands." And, then I'll see what I can do. So Elvis got one of those badges, and he's like showing it off. And then one day, because Elvis lived a big life and likes to party and see people, he like had, it was in his private room with some people, and they just randomly invited some like scumbag in. And Elvis's friends are like, "Yo, this guy's kind of scummy. Like, maybe he should leave." And the scumbag, I was like, no, he's fine. And the scumbag steals like money and some jewelry from Elvis and leaves. And then he realizes afterwards, like, "Oh my God, I've been robbed." And the guy was on a plane about to take off, and running down the runway was Elvis flashing his badge, telling the plane to pull over. And then they got the guy off the plane and they interrogated him. And he's like, "I did it. I took your money." And I was like, "We'll do it again." And like gave him, let him keep the money, and then bought him another flight home. So it's like Elvis role playing as like a federal narcotics officer.
He just wanted to pull him over.
He pulled over a plane. He ran down the fucking runway.
Now let me just say, knowing this story, they didn't reach their full potential with this movie.
Disappointing.
It'll be part of the deleted scenes. Everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. I do imagine there's probably a bunch of wild Elvis stories that weren't touched in this. Yeah. The bigger focus of this movie, I think, is more regarding his
the relationship with the manager.
With the manager, yeah. While also kind of showing his rise and.
Well, if anything from these music bio movies, it's always the manager who's the worst, without fail.
Starting
the manager, drugs, lover, or all three at once.
Yeah. So, it's probably going to be one of those. I'll tell you that now. Even in our experience, it's usually one of those. I mean, what the heck? So Sarah,
Yeah.
we have 2 other movies here that we're going to discuss, and these ones we are going to be putting up spoiler tags for.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be getting into what is potentially some heated conversation. Yeah. Why don't we... Are you ready?
Yeah.
Why don't we go ahead and let's talk about Jurassic World Dominion.
Bullshit.
We were...
Bullshit.
we were going to talk about this movie in the last podcast. We ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think people have opinions about this movie. So, here
Who wants
we
to go first?
go.
Paleo, start the charge.
Okay.
Why was
Do
this
it.
the best
Oh.
movie ever?
So I'm probably the biggest Jurassic fan here.
Probably.
And I do.
Do you still have your action figures?
I do.
That's
They're
very
in the attic
assumptuous.
somewhere.
Do you still have the '90s T-Rex with bite force action?
I never got that.
Exactly. So learn your place, Matt.
Come on, Dolphin Boy.
But yeah, and I do still like all the movies and stuff. But even though like I am like the biggest apologist for like all the sequels, I was still disappointed with this movie.
That should tell
Because,
y'all a lot.
Yeah, we should tell you a lot.
It really
Okay,
should.
Were you surprised by how disappointed you were?
Kinda. Because like leading up to the movie, stuff that was coming out, like the Battle at Big Rock short, was like really great.
Yeah.
They had the prologue that showed up in the beginning of Fast 9 with the IMAX showing of that, and then it uploaded to YouTube. And when people saw the prologue, they were like, "Wow, this looks amazing!"
Yeah.
Like with all the dinosaurs and stuff, and like then having the T-Rex go into the drive-in, and I don't know why, but they cut it out of the final cut of the movie, and that is just dumb.
It's
Um,
stupid.
Yeah,
So
because
fucking
it sets
stupid.
it would set up like a better tone for the movie, because all the Jurassic movies like start out with like some kind of weird like attack or whatever.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And this one didn't really do that. It had like the Mosasaurus in the beginning, but that was it. That was very short.
Right.
But with the prologue, like that would have been a much better setup. And then like also before the movie, the Dino Tracker site came out, and we were
That was
seeing like all
awesome.
these. Yeah, we seeing like all these little clips of like people interacting with dinosaurs in like different ways of like either being like chased by them or just seeing them like out in the wild and doing stuff. And I thought, wow, this is what I want from the movie, of like just dinosaurs on the mainland doing shit, people either like learning to live with them or just like running from them. And with this movie, it's like, oh yeah, you wanted to see dinosaurs? No, we have locusts. What?
So stupid. So fucking stupid. I want to see bugs watch fucking Arachnophobia. Stupid, okay? So...
And I think also this movie, Dominion, it has the lowest kill count out of all of the Jurassic movies.
Oh, it does. It's so
2
stupid.
people die.
And Gigabitch didn't even do it. Gigabitch, the biggest bad, didn't kill one fucking human. Like, what kind of shit?
Wait,
Yeah,
was the deer one of the 2?
No.
Oh.
I'm talking about like 2 humans.
Oh.
Wait, 2 humans? Are you sure?
Yeah, because there was the guy who was eaten by the Allosaurus in the Malta chase scene.
Isn't an Allosaurus a vegetarian?
Okay, no, okay, but I don't think so. Okay, because like you got to think of it like this. Okay, because you said 2 people were killed, but like there's the person at the stock market who got his head bit off. There's the Atrociraptors killing people.
yeah.
There's the guy, the fucking Dodson got eaten by Dilophosaurus.
Okay, I'm
and then-
thinking about like people getting eaten then.
Oh, okay, yeah, because like there's a ton of people
Yeah.
who got fucking killed in this movie. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Suddenly, Paleo's like, maybe it was a good movie.
Though I do wonder if the kill count was lower because of the way they were wanting to end this film with its,
Yeah.
kumbaya.
which
Look,
makes
that
no
big thing
sense.
that ate all those people and ripped up that boat on the ocean, it's now cuddling with the whales. It's so
Yeah, it's coming with the whale, which makes no sense. You know damn well it started nomming those things.
Oh, yeah.
afterwards. Like, it's so
It was hunting.
stupid.
It was hunting.
It's literally
Like,
hunting.
I can't stand it. Like, I know it's all suspending disbelief, but like humanity is so deadly in fucking the earth. Kill the dinosaurs. That's it.
Yeah, literally. You could fucking like kill them. Oh, so it's like you have a fucking kaiju swimming in the ocean, killing God knows how many surfers. Like, and then to go off what Paleo said with like this fucking like
take him out.
yeah, and the fucking what was it? The Dino Tracker. Yeah, the Dino Tracker site. Eons better than this movie because like you see like, oh, what happens when you're hiking and a fucking Allosaurus shows up? Oh, like what happens in that scenario? And it's like, oh wow, this is actually genuinely freaky. This is some Blair Witch shit with dinosaurs. It's like, yeah, that would have been a cool fucking premise for the movie, but no. And then like there's this whole thing of like, oh, if you are out in the wild and you see velociraptors in a parking lot, how do you respond to that? And it's just like they have so many of those type of videos, which is like, this is what I wanted. That's what the last movie seemed like it was promising. Fucking dinosaurs in the wild. Like literally, it's such an interesting premise. Hey, you go outside. Oh, there's a fucking baby triceratops. What's that? Oh God, you just entire movie like that. Entire premise, but no. Fucking Bugs Life 2. We don't give a fuck about this shit.
And we gotta like every Jurassic movie has to do this is like you have to go back to one setting, and that's what they did. They went back to to Bison Valley, which is basically just another park.
Yes, another park, and it's called World. Jurassic World. You have a world of things. So it's like fuck, dude. Like you could have done so much. And
though, here's the thing. This isn't art, really. It's just a fucking product. This thing stinks of executive meddling, and not allowing these directors or writers to actually have a. It's just a product.
That's the thing is like from what I understand, like the executives at Universal are like, oh yeah, we're not gonna put the prologue in front of this. Like that's too weird. And Colin Trevorrow was like, well, why not?
Yeah, it's stupid because like there's so much more to this. Like, okay, first off, another thing, like Paleo said, the prologue sets up like the tone of the movie and stuff like that, but also the other stuff. But like it shows you the fucking Giga, like the Gigasaur is like, oh, okay, here we go. This dinosaur, it fucking killed a T-Rex. It's not one to be fucked with. But like later when it shows up, it's like, oh shit. This thing, it just punked Rexy. Oh, fuck. All the dinosaurs, it punked Rexy. Oh, fuck. What's it gonna do? And then, like, you think it's gonna kill freaking, like, Jeff Goldblum and freaking them, but it's just like, no. Like, because that's a problem with this movie. None of the main characters, there's no tension with them. Like, you know for a fact they're not gonna die.
Yeah, because, like, with Jurassic Park movies, like, no main, like, well, it's exception, the exception of some. But for Jurassic World Dominion, like it had too many main characters. It was like, oh, we can't kill off these characters, so like they're just all gonna live. I guess.
Yeah, they're all gonna live. They're all gonna live, and like they're all gonna survive at the last moment. Like it made no sense. Like, oh, here's a fucking raptor that's like coated with bird wings that can swim really fast for some reason.
Yeah,
and
that
like,
was weird.
yeah, and so it's like, oh, we can just fucking get out of it. Oh, hey, you want to know what else? All right, this plane, it's going down. Oh, don't worry, we have an ejector seat, even though there's a fucking block that you will not be ejected. That fucking, it's so stupid. Like it's so dumb. It's such a, like, it's just like, there are so many little things where it's just like, dude, if you had just focused on this aspect, this would be a fun film. Like, okay, so for instance, the first Jurassic World film, not a great movie, but fun, dumb fun. Like, it's just like, oh, okay, this is what would happen if there was an amusement park of dinosaurs and people are actually going to it. Okay, oh, we have a fucking mega dinosaur that's like fucking 58 things, and it's just like, it's got all these superpowers and shit, and it like fucking fucks up everything it comes across just for fun. That dinosaur was more the Joker. I don't know what the fuck Colin was talking about when he was saying like,
I'll tell you what they should have done is, okay, they should have pushed the super dinosaur thing a bit more, where it's like, oh my god, there's like a newer breeds of dinosaurs where they're like amped up genetically and they're smarter and more deadly, and it's like, who's behind this? And it's like, I found out when you would have discovered me, and it's like, oh no, Hitler, you know.
Something like that.
the
I don't buy that.
of dinosaurs, And all the little raptors have little mustaches and little like Nazi.
You're just doing that.
What is this? The Dolly program? Like, what are we going on here?
It's like the Nazis got their hand on the genetics of Jurassic Park, and they're like, people take over the world with our super genetic dinosaurs.
And then Indiana Jones flies in on a refrigerator, and he's like, "I got this."
Yeah, and then,
you know, there's a video game like that called Dino D-Day.
fucking
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah,
Fucking
that,
awesome.
that could have worked. You know, the Owen Thunderguns could have launched a D-Day landing with Rexy and Blue, and they could have gone after the German dinosaurs.
Yeah, you could have had the lead.
If they went full on like idiot, I'd be like, okay, this is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, like have fucking like Vin Diesel show up, like just like you need a family, kid.
Family.
Yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it's fucking. Like, shit. I was telling Paleo the other day, like honestly, to go off like the dinosaur Sinister Six, whatever fuck they want to do. They should have did something where it's just like, okay, we've made a new Indominus Rex. Here's the Giga. Here's a new Ego, whatever, Indo-Rat. I always call it the
Ego
fuck. I
Raptor.
always say that stupid shit every single time. I don't
blow up dinosaur costume.
Yeah, whatever. And so like, there's that one, and then whatever Spino, whatever the bad guys they were.
I
The
will
other
say,
ones.
I think it would have been more effective if, as far as like the battle at the end, if it was Spinosaurus.
Oh, you mean
Spinosaurus
Spinosaurus and Rexy teaming up to fight the
No,
Giga?
if like Spinosaurus was like the apex predator of the valley, they're like
Oh.
this is the one just fucking up everything.
I hate
Okay,
it.
so,
'Cause it's
see, well, here's the thing with that. Okay, because like Spino and Rexy, like I mean, sure, like everyone wants to see like Rexy beat Spino's ass because it's just like, oh, you need to have redemption because people have been mad about that for years. But whatever. Like I thought you were going some Goku Vegeta route, where it's like Spino and Rexy are just like, see this new bitch, we need to team up and take this shit down. Like, you ready, Vegeta? Shit like that. Just fucking
No, it's what after that though? Then like it's like that one joke from Family Guy where it's like, oh no, we have to team up to stop bigger jaws, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Jaws
I-
fighting bigger jaws.
I still think Maisie should have digivolved into the Dino Hybrid Paleo. Okay, like that would have been fun. No, race. I was saying this.
Yeah.
I need to get that story you filmed of me like doing that freaking filibuster of the ending and get it just like animatic with like people who don't know. Like if you go to like MomoCon, what was it, Saturday?
I think it was Saturday night.
Saturday night. Go to MomoCon Saturday night by Race. I did an entire ending, which is way better than this bullshit. And it was just saying, if that had happened, that would have been so much better. But like, it's just like the movie doesn't know what to do because like it didn't even feel hyped up when it's like, oh, this is like two alphas going at it, and it's just like, what for? Like, what is the purpose of this? Like, literally, like all that happened earlier was like Giga just pushed her out the way and was just like, oh, okay.
That was absolutely some executives being like, here's a little sticky note. You need to have this at the end. That wasn't something like inspired. That was make the people clap moment.
I clap.
I clap and I clap.
The T-Rex
broke
walked
new
in front of the
ground!
water
It was
fountain.
like-
It was a circle, and it made the logo of the T-Rex.
Right.
yeah.
Right. It was so cool.
We put little microchips in the dinosaurs' brains, and they can do whatever we want. They'll come home for dinner, and then also like I like this scene at the dinosaur black market when Mirage from The Incredibles was there, and she had a
The
little
fucking dino girl.
She's like, I'm evil, and this laser pointer. It's like, when does it?
Did anybody else get Star Wars vibes from the black market like scene?
Oh yeah, like when
Like
they're-
it was shot, and it just like the aesthetically, it just looked like Star Wars.
It was awful.
They're like, where's the black market? Oh, walk through this hole in the wall. Oh, here we are. Here we're here.
Mm-hmm.
We're underground. Shush.
It
No,
was
so. I recently. Oh, I'm almost done with Better Call Saul. I'm waiting for like the last episodes. That show is outstanding.
It is.
Fucking.
Well, it came from Breaking Bad. Of course, it's outstanding. So yeah.
Right. So like I'm actually starting to realize like I don't have to watch bad things. And
Fucking
You?
but no, sincerely though, like I'm like, what makes a good show, makes a good movie, and it's like it always comes down to like these fucking characters. Like I know the story's important too, but good characters that you can really like sink your teeth into. It's just everything. And like just watching Better Call Saul, where I'm like, dude, I'm like today, I finally caught up and something happened where I actually got teary eyed, And I was like, shit, dude, I have not cried at like live action humans in a long time.
Live action.
And you know, if it's like cartoons, if it's different, or a dog or a cat or whatever, but like humans, I'm like, fuck them, I don't care. But like now I'm watching Jurassic Dominion, I'm like, this is just all supremely, unrewardingly stupid, and that's my complete opinion on Dominion. Like at least the first Jurassic World had like the bonus of like a new coat of paint, and what if we had technology and the Indominus Rex? Okay, I can see humans doing that, and then having nature kind of vibe check it. But then from that point on, it's like this is now stupid.
It's silly.
It's
so silly.
I'm still stuck on the live action humans
Right?
making you cry. Like I'm imagining like at a funeral, it's like, man, I haven't cried at a live action human in a while.
Live action.
It's good acting.
I don't even know, and Paleo probably will be able to identify, but like I like how I think it was with Jurassic World, they're like, don't worry, they have these like things built into the dinosaurs, so if they don't get like some certain like mineral or vitamin or something like.
Oh yeah, that was with the first Jurassic Park of like, oh yeah, if they don't have a certain enzyme.
Lysine
and I love how love how they're like. Well, I love that they were like, well, we want to make more, so like, yeah, I guess we were wrong.
yeah,
their body evolved.
That's what was mentioned in
Lost World.
In Lost World, yeah, it was what John Hammond says. Like they found a way or whatever, or like they adapted. So it's like, oh yeah, so yeah.
They evolved in a single generation.
If they could, because if they could breed, I mean, like after they bred all of them to be female, then they could do that too.
Right. And it's like, yeah, because like, what was the Spinosaurus was female as well, right?
I don't know.
Okay, yeah, because like I remember
it's never specified.
Yeah, because I think like the only like because it's like the male dinosaurs they've had so far is like the buck T-Rex from Lost World, and then maybe the baby from Lost World, and then also like the freaking Indo, I said it right at the time, raptor was like a boy. So yeah, it's like so. And then like Blue like just gave birth like to a clone. Oh yeah, that whole clone storyline, that was just
the
fucking
clone
silly.
The clone storyline is so weird and complicated.
It was so stupid. Should have been fucking dinosaur DNA. Like legit, I don't care. I'm saying if she was just like, let's fossilize him, and then she transformed and shit like that would be fucking hype. It would be stupid as shit. It would be stupid, but I'd be cackling in the theater drunk.
I want to correct one thing, by the way. Jax's ending that he predicted, that was on Friday night. It was Friday part 4.
It was Friday night?
Okay.
Yeah, because I realized, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, well, wait, we went, a group of us went to Waffle House after pizza, and it was super late, and I'm like, when would you have done that?
I was pissed that night.
And also, Quiet Storm has linked that into the chat, so for anyone that's interested in what Jax is talking about.
Yes.
After the podcast.
After the podcast. So, okay, so I feel like most people have aired their feelings. Was there anyone who liked this movie?
I don't find it as, like, I still feel like there's a lot of stupid shit, but at the same time, it's a movie that I wasn't hating watching it. Like, I was like, there's a lot of stupid stuff going on, and there's some things that are annoying me, but whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like the most annoyed I am with this movie is the bad guy that's been like making all the badass dinosaurs, and been involved the entire
Henry
fucking
Wu.
series.
What he has is
He's all of a sudden like dressed up as like Mr. Rogers, and he's like, "Oh, I feel bad. I made locusts."
Yeah.
I thought he was dying. I thought they were gonna be like, "Yeah, I'm dying from something," and instead he's like, "No, I'm just
sad because
remorseful."
I made locusts and it's gonna kill everybody.
I don't get it. Like, didn't he know that? So
you see that'll just break it down even stupider, because it's just like, why would you make fucking locusts that like, oh, they're gonna actively destroy most of the world's food supply, and it's just like, oh, they're easily traced back to us because they're only eating other people's stuff besides us. So
it could not be more obvious, and they're the one company doing this type of science.
Exactly.
It's like, duh. Oh no, we don't have. Yeah. So, but I was gonna say, I do often find myself with a soft spot for reprising roles. So, I did enjoy seeing, the old three back together for the first time, all together.
That was fun.
Yeah. Jeff Goldblum is my favorite part of this movie.
Right.
I feel like they just let him do whatever he wanted.
You don't have a script.
Yeah,
just talk.
there were
I want to spear this dinosaur in the mouth. Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
From what I understand, like he did ad lib a lot.
Okay.
He does that a lot nowadays.
Yeah, because he knows.
Tell him no.
Exactly. I mean, like I couldn't. He's just so charming. It'd just be like, yeah, I'm just gonna let this happen.
He definitely did it from Boss Baby too. That's for damn sure.
I also do like where things get tied up, or loose ends, if you will, and I enjoy that this is the movie that finally addressed the Dobson guy from the
Dodson.
We got Dodson here.
We got Dodson here.
Now here's the thing, and I told Sarah this. Before I looked up who the actor was, I was like, if they fucking went all the way back to find the freaking actor who was in the movie for 3 minutes, Jurassic Park for 3 minutes, and he's the guy who they brought back to do this, because I didn't recognize the actor.
Right.
I was like, if they did that, I'm going to have to give this movie props. I'm like, holy shit. And they didn't. So I was like, well, I don't have to do
For
it.
obvious reasons, because he did some very fucked
good
up
reason
things.
they didn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
Very fucked up.
I don't know
Yeah.
the story behind this guy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
So I thought you were gonna go there. Like
Yeah.
No.
It's nasty.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Jax, you wanna say?
Okay, so basically, he was a diddler. So yeah, that's what it was. He did some diddling. So yeah, they were like, absolutely the fuck not. So they were like recast it.
Yeah, with a 13-year-old. So.
Well, I didn't know that. Now I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they didn't go back to the original actor.
Well, good.
Right, yeah, good.
Well,
Yeah.
I'll give them a pass then. All right, that's a good reason to not.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean it was those
Now
elements.
you can give them props for not bringing him back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good job. Moving. Okay, so last bit that I'll touch on here, going back to the original 3 or whatnot, because I always thought it was like, I'm like, well, that's an interesting decision when, and I don't remember, and Paleo, you probably know this, how many of these movies actually followed books. Was it just the first one? Was it
just the first two?
The first two. Okay.
Yeah.
So then the third one, they're like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna have Alan Grant and the girl not be together. And it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like, I felt like they were going to be together. And then they're like, but then we're going to make 3 more movies 20 years from now, and that's when we're going to pair them up. So, what? What? Were you guys happy that they shipped?
I mean, fine. It was about damn time. They should have done it in Jurassic Park 3, but like they had to do that old, oh, you were always obsessed with your work, weren't you? Shit, fuck that. Fucking bullshit. Yeah, God. I fought a dinosaur for you.
Right? No, I was like, huh. But even then, I felt like they managed to take these characters, and I'm like, they weren't this awkward together.
Mm-hmm.
But now they're like, we're old and awkward. But I'm like, all right. So, I don't want to sit on this too long, because again, I don't want anyone to get too worn down from Jurassic World. So why don't we talk about a good movie?
Say one more thing.
Oh yeah, okay. First, Paleo, go on, and anyone else that has last thoughts about Jurassic World.
Because I love the Jurassic franchise, no matter how much hate it gets or whatever for the sequels, other than the first movie. But I will say that with Dominion, I am looking forward to see what they do with the extended cut, because this is the first time we're getting an extended cut of any of the Jurassic movies.
Because I knew they fucked up.
Yeah. So I'm not sure like what's going to be in there. I just know that they're going to add back in the prologue and like 9 minutes of footage of something else. I do know that like one big problem with this movie is the editing, because the editing, there's a lot of things where scenes just kind of just happened like next to each other where it doesn't really flow very well. That was a big problem with Jurassic Park 3. And people actually made their own cut of Jurassic Park 3 where, where scenes actually flowed a lot more. But yeah, with Dominion, I do want to see what the extended cut does, and I'll have some thoughts after I see that when it comes out on streaming and digital and whatever. But also, watching Dominion, I had watched through all of the Jurassic Park movies, rewatched them, and Dominion actually made me appreciate Fallen Kingdom a bit more, because I'm like,
shit.
Because when I was thinking about,
I realize I appreciate stubbing my toe more.
because like with Fallen Kingdom, I was like, that actually has some pretty cool scenes in there. You know, like,
Just had fucking
like,
the Looney
yeah.
Tunes raptor, okay, like
Yeah, yeah.
smiling at the camera, like.
Well, there was that bit in the third Jurassic Park movie where like they're like, oh shoot, or oh shit, there's piles of shit and the phone's in there, and then that one dinosaur walks up and straight up just looks at the camera like, oh, this shit smells, and looks at the camera, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Why is the dinosaur breaking the fourth wall? Like, why are you looking at me? Stop. Of course, that was also the infamous movie that gave us Alan.
I love that so much.
Alan.
That should have happened in this movie. Blue should have started talking.
Alan.
She was close to.
I actually,
I know, right?
I will say this. I also went back and watched all of the Jurassic Park movies and Jurassic World movies on lead up to this. And for me, I actually found that I hated Jurassic Park 3 less than the first time I saw it. Because,
when was
like,
the first time you saw it?
probably when it came out in theaters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, 'cause, like, I rewatched the original trilogy so much as a kid.
No, I don't even think I rewatched the original trilogy for when Jurassic World came out. I'm pretty sure I didn't. So, with Jurassic Park... maybe I did. I don't know. But with Jurassic Park 3, I remembered being like, the fuck? He's talking to the Velociraptors, and... I don't know. I was really stuck on that, and I've since moved on. What's up, Sarah?
I'm trying to save a JPEG, but everything's a web image.
Screen
Yeah,
grab
just-
it.
Dot P.
Yeah, just save it and then like type .jpeg at the end.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's how that works? I need to start doing that.
NFTs?
Does that work? I gotta watch
Let's
this.
see.
.jpeg.
Oh, it did. Shit.
What?
Wow,
What the
that's
fuck?
terrific.
So Sarah's setting up our next spoiler screen.
Yeah.
Now, are there any last thoughts on Jurassic World before we move on?
It was stupid. The dinosaur should have talked. Vin Diesel should have showed up, and then Godzilla should have appeared at the end. Okay, so yeah.
And I don't think anyone's arguing against that.
Yeah.
Are you ready, Sarah?
Yeah.
All right. So, like I said, let's give ourselves a break here and talk about a movie that I think we can all agree is the greatest. Lightyear.
This movie. I didn't see it.
You haven't seen Lightyear?
No, I have. I pretend I wiped it from my mind.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm curious to hear because this is another movie where now obviously I feel like Jurassic World is gonna have the more intense of feelings towards it, maybe on the negative side. Lightyear, I'm curious to hear where people stand. So, who wants to go first?
I will.
Oh,
Yes.
It was boring. It was really extremely boring. I was just, like, the first 15 minutes or so were compelling, and I was like, oh, okay, this seems like an interesting concept that they're doing here. And then the rest of the movie just falls flat. And I'm just like,
Yep.
damn it.
Yep. Taika Waititi. Again, like before we like go even further with this, again, I know so many people have said it, but it's so valid. There is no way in hell this movie is the one Andy saw in 1995. Like, there's just absolutely no way whatsoever. Like, for like not even just from like a technological standpoint, but from a political standpoint too. Unless they are like very progressive in the Pixar universe, like in the 90s.
Okay,
I'm just
that's
like,
a good point.
I'm just like, there is like a certain. I'm just like, I don't think like we have come so far, and it just makes you appreciate how far we've come as a society these days. But it's just like if that came out in the 90s, I was like, no, I do not think that.
Literally 2022 and still having issues.
Right? Exactly. It's like the fucking 90s they're doing that, but no. I think, like Sarah said, this movie started off like somewhat. I was somewhat kind of with it because like for me, like I'm just like this seemed. I only watched the first trailer, so I don't know how it's gonna go. Then it went to the whole like freaking Interstellar style shit they were doing, and then like it was just like, oh, this is odd. I mean, it's. I will say that it was giving me a bit of a mini feels trip. I was like, oh damn, all right, whatever. Like it was making me like think and stuff like that. So I was like, oh okay. But then like after that, like once like Sarah said, like once it gets to like the second half with like all the Zerg and all that stuff, like it does start to just like steadily start going down and down and down and down and down, and it's just like. What was just like? It just didn't feel like because I feel like. The thing is, am I gonna pull the fucking? Well, back in Buzz Lightyear Star Command, that came out in the '90s, which I used to watch every Saturday morning as a kid. All right, so basically, it was just like when I think back to that show, I think back to the side characters, and I'm just like, I love most of those side characters. These side characters annoyed the fuck out of me. Well, besides the daughter, like something like that, but like Taika Waititi's character. Annoyed me so much. I was like, why is this guy? He should die. Like he needs to, something needs to eat him. Okay. Like he is pissing me off so much. The thief is like, oh, okay. Thief. One note.
The old lady is like very one note.
One note. And then like the funny enough, the one that was going to be a massive hit at Christmas later this year, I really did like Socks. Like I thought Socks
is the saving grace of this film.
He is
the only interesting part of this movie.
Mm-hmm. But then, like,
I have Santa Selena in the chat being like, "Who keeps saying Andy saw this film? What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Literally the movie." And the first 10 seconds,
the movie
movie is like, "This is the movie that Andy saw. This is that film." And then it opens with Lightyear.
I like the part where Buzz is like, "Hey, Socks, can you solve light speed while I'm gone?"
Yeah.
And it's just like
he's like, "It took me 62 years, but I did it."
So they couldn't have had like fucking 8 of those. Like he could have like asked like 8 of those. Hey, can you solve light speed? Hey, can you like make that like if they're that advanced like where they can do that?
Group of scientists. Nobody thought, maybe we should,
We've already solved AI. Why don't we
I have a big problem with like the whole Socks of finding out light speed stuff and then like because there seems like to be a major plot hole here, which that's always going to happen with time travel movies. But Socks like finds out the formula and whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they get the formula, and then Socks' little laptop thing gets destroyed, and I'm like. He's like, the formula, I was like, Socks, you're a fucking robot.
Yeah, you know it.
You should know, like, that formula in your head.
It's in your data bank.
So, I think...
my recipe card.
I think my... One issue that I have with this movie, and I think it falls under, I guess, partially, like, on the boring side for it, is by the way, actually real quick, Anime Guide says sent a super chat saying Andy would have had the Socks toy 100%.
Yeah, damn straight.
Agreed. So for me, this is a movie that didn't need to be animated. Like nothing in this movie felt like, oh yeah, see now they're really pushing the limits. Like, not even pushing the limits, but it's like, this felt like something that could have been made live action, and I understand, like,
I think that's kind of the point of the movie, where it's like, oh, this is the live action movie that was in the 90s that Andy saw, But the thing is, it would have, if it was a live action movie that Andy saw in the 90s, it would have been very impressive for the time.
Yeah, it would have been insanely impressive. Like he would have been like, "Mom, what is wrong with us? Why do we look like fucking freak?
But
Like, why does that dog look so?" It's just like you start looking at so much stuff. And like, I mean, hell, if they wanted to do something, you reboot like fucking special edition Toy Story 1 or some shit like that. Because like there's a lot of stuff in Toy Story 1 where it's just like, wow, this movie, the story is great, but then like you look at some of the stuff on the side, it's just like that fucking dog. Bug-eyed dogs is like Spud. It's just like, what the fuck is that?
The remaster of Toy Story.
Yeah, the remaster of Toy Story. Shit, that would have made you a fuck ton more money if you wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Shit, like it's just.
I honestly, I didn't find this movie visually interesting at all. Like, it,
Well, they were on a planet that they didn't want to be on.
Yeah.
I guess, but like,
Oh!
even like I don't know, like a lot of it, I was just like, okay, this is just like kind of like standard sci-fi. Yeah, I don't know.
So
I
Interstellar.
feel like, given like some of the movies that have been coming out, like The Bad Guys and like Spider-Man,
Even
from
Pixar's last
Sony,
movie, Turning Red.
and I'm just like,
Turning Red was godly.
this movie was a turn in visualization that I was just like, You know, sometimes movies don't have to look like realistic.
Okay, so I pointed. So I was sitting here thinking about this movie, and I'm like, you know, there's funny implications about this movie. So follow me here, okay? So it is an animated movie. So we'll just go ahead and assume that it was an animated movie that Andy saw. This is the movie. This is the movie.
Right.
Now Chris Evans voices Lightyear in this
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Now I don't know if Disney has a direct beef right now with Tim Allen, or you know, I know they're working on some series with him, like I think there's a Santa Claus series and whatnot, and you know they had their reasons with going a different route with this, but what I laugh at is that they're basically what they're saying is that Tim Allen was the discount Buzz Lightyear that they could afford for the toys.
Yeah.
So Tim Allen actually just got major shade from Disney.
Right.
And they were like, no, we need the guy that we can afford to just say something into this little speaker.
Tim Allen got Patrick Warburton for his show because I think technically, it's just like, damn. That is funny though. Like that's how that would be like the figure, but because I think like even Saber like mentioned this when we talked about it before, but it's like this Buzz doesn't feel like the Buzz Andy would like watch and be like in love with, like, oh my god, I gotta have a figure of that guy. Like I gotta have a fucking like action figure of that.
This
dude.
definitely seems more like the gritty reboot of
Yeah.
Buzz Lightyear that Andy would see as an adult.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's
exactly.
kind of a piece of shit up until the very end of the film. Like, his I don't know, his whole thing is just like, he's kind of like a dick.
Well, his logic is weird too,
Yeah.
where he's like, well, if I keep doing this, we're going to eventually get out of here. And then for some reason, like, after the 20th time, he's like, oh shit, people are dead? It's not like I've watched them age every time I got back here. Why am I surprised?
Right.
Yeah, that's what happens. People die. I don't know. Like, I felt like it was going for this deep angle of, like, time travel and, like you said, kind of an interstellar type of feel to it. But like, there was also a lot of, funny enough, I felt like there was a lot of Top Gun in this movie. You know, we gotta break Mach 10. All right, Tom Cruise, go do it. Come on. Like, yeah.
See you in 4 years.
Except this movie got stuck on literally the intro of Top Gun, and they were like, "What do we do?"
You know what bums me out is that this could have worked, but they went about it so poorly. Where the most glaring issue, like we all said, the intro, where it's like, this is not Andy's movie, and it makes me wonder what happens at Pixar or Disney, where it's like, I know the executives don't have as much of a vice grip there as they do with like Illumination and whatnot, but like this just on a narrative level, I mean, all of us are in agreement. We're like, that doesn't make sense. But then it's too gritty. It's dull. It's like, where are the aliens? You know, like why? It's almost like you're all afraid of having fun with your material and hamming it up. You have to be like, you have to be serious. You have to be, you know. I'm like, that takes all the luster out of this universe. You know, I want to see Star Command as like this giant space base, and it's like a grittier version of Star Trek. and I'm like, it's too lame. This isn't fun. Like,
Yeah.
I saw Cell Specs' review about Lightyear, and she made
Yeah, I
a
saw
good
it too.
point where she said like the clashing colors of Buzz's suit with everything else in the movie, and it's because you have to have Buzz's suit. And it's like, that's a good point. Like, everything else feels so unbelievably dull. And then, like, Sarah, just so you know, the longer I look at this picture of the spoiler Ahoy and look at Buzz's face, the more I feel like I want to die. Like, he's got this big old ham face. So Laura and I
Claire
saw
was
it with our
dying.
friend Claire.
Yeah.
And there was a moment where, like, at the end where you see a side profile shot of, like, Buzz at attention.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's a goddamn honey baked ham, you know? But the entire spoilers with like Buzz, you know, like I'm older Buzz, and I'm like, and also I found Zurg, and the robots can't say my name, so they say Zurg, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just found a ship out of nowhere. And
I found a ship out of nowhere. I'm like, they did that very small callback joke to fucking Toy Story 2. It's like,
Which is
oh, you're
pointless.
not your father, and it's just like that was a one-off joke. They didn't
Yeah.
even reference that in the freaking cartoon show. So it's like, what
Yeah.
if I like?
Well, now, okay, the more we talk about this, the more I'm like, well, wait a minute. Weren't the alien toys in Toy Story, weren't those supposed to be from this movie too?
I thought, yeah, you know.
I'm not
Hold
sure.
on a second.
I don't think
I-
it's specified.
I think they were.
I have a Toy Story question that like
'Cause
I
that's
just
why-
thought of. And
Yeah.
Okay, so Buzz from Toy Story, he thinks he's Buzz Lightyear, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
why did he freeze whenever Andy showed up?
Oh, that always bothered me.
Yeah, like why
Is
though?
it
Like,
an instinct?
It might just be an
Like-
instinct.
is that like just
It just didn't have any
because like
control
now
over it.
because literally
It's
all
a
of us have been
defense
talking.
mechanism.
Yeah, I guess because like literally I've been just like all of us have been just talking and dunking on this film,
Yeah.
and then like literally I just remember like he thinks he's Buzz from this movie, right? And then it's just like, wait, if he thinks he's Buzz from this movie, why would he freeze up every time he sees like a human being? Like it just is, I guess it's like a toy instinct, but then like Woody at the end of Toy Story scared the fuck out of Sid, so it's just like
So play nice.
okay, yeah,
it,
so okay.
I feel like there was a scene though where they're like, "Oh, Andy's coming," and Buzz like is just kind of like around confused. I might be
I thought he was
misremembering,
looking
and
at
then
something.
Buzz is like, I don't know. I have no
Yeah,
idea.
oh god,
But,
yeah, I'm that my brain just blew up. I'm just like,
Wouldn't
what?
every toy fuck that up?
I mean, like,
I don't know.
well, like, what does it
It might just be
depend
instinct.
on like what they are? Because like I'm thinking of it now, because like freaking Forky, right? Like Forky, if you
Yeah.
go to fucking Toy Story 4, he's like, I'm
Yeah.
trash. I need to like walk to the trash and do this stuff. But then like if Buzz Lightyear thinks he is Buzz Lightyear from this movie, which I don't, he does not match the personality at all. Like he seems like he is just this, and he's like, and it doesn't make even more sense because he's talking about like when I fight the Galactic Empire, Zurg, and all this stuff. It's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's not what happened. If
When
you're
did that
based off this
happen?
movie, yeah, it's like this. Literally, all you had to do, you had the perfect blueprint with Buzz Lightyear Star Command, the cartoon show. That's all you had to do. Make that to a movie. But-
And I'm crestfallen. We could have had a hot blue alien babe. And
yeah.
Aliens.
Damn it! Blue big titty aliens.
it's like, I'm sorry, it's like Booster and the robot and Nora and all these amazing characters and aliens, and have so much like character with their designs, and it's like, what if we trade them in for the most boring side characters of all time?
The most annoying ones too. Fuck.
Yeah, and that's a shame because Taika Waititi's great, but I'm like, this is like taking all the annoying like essence of Taika Waititi and just shoving into one character.
Yeah. Like, literally, all
I
they had
do want to
do.
touch on his character in a moment, but we do have a super chat from Anime Guy saying they missed out on rekindling Princess Mira Nova love.
Okay.
Is that from
Yeah, they
Star
did.
Command?
Yeah.
Or
Hot.
From the show.
okay.
Oh.
Then another super chat from Anime Guy saying, considering the other locals froze when the giant creatures were showing up, and Buzz followed the example.
I guess so. Yeah,
It does
because
make sense. Like he's just
that
adapting.
does make sense, I suppose. Because yeah, I like literally, I never thought about that once, but it just popped into my head. Like, yeah, you should, oh, whatever. But then like another thing to go off this movie. Okay, so like, what were you saying, Pela?
I was gonna say, like, if we start talking about like the Toy Story rules, because like some things like just also don't make sense. It's like, why does Woody not remember he's from Woody's Roundup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why does he not remember that? Why doesn't the toaster talk? Oh, that's a brave little toaster. That's a completely different universe dimension. Fucking, it's just like you just got to go into a whole like what counts as a that's silly. But like this movie overall it just felt lame. And then like the ending scene where they go to fucking like the actual Buzz Lightyear kind. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You are not wearing that. Like it just there's no fucking like way. And then like why didn't the fucking red button make wings appear? It was like, oh, this fucking flubber shit that came out.
That was
This is like
Yeah.
the what?
That was disappointing with the orb things. I'm like, the press the red buttons, that's the wings, and it's like like bags instead. And it's like, oh, you could have done a cool callback where it's like only Space Rangers can use the wings or something, or maybe it's a prototype or just something.
Yeah.
And have it pay off. The wings kind of came out of nowhere, and the only reason why they have any significance is because of Toy Story. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, just to correct myself, I did see in the chat anime guys saying that the little green men were promotional toys from Pizza Planet, which makes sense. So they were not related.
They were in the cartoon for Buzz Lightyear, but that came afterwards. That makes sense. Yeah.
So
I wanted to go back to Taika's character. There was like it's supposed to be, I guess, an emotional moment in the midsection of the movie where like they just escaped like the little prison robots and stuff, and it's like, oh hey, we're having a good time, we're eating these weird sandwiches that are inside out,
reverse
basically.
sandwiches.
And like it's just, like there's like an emotional whiplash sort of thing where it just like makes me laugh, where like he accidentally knocks socks off of the table and like it's like a oh god, oh no, I almost killed him, and I'm just like, where the fuck did this come from? Like it was so ridiculous that I almost laughed in the theater. I was just like, what the fuck is going on right now?
Can we also just acknowledge the sandwich thing? Like they're like they're acting like it's been like multiple generations. I'm like, bitch, your grandma was his friend. Like, what are you talking about? You didn't know sandwiches had 2 pieces of bread. Like, don't start.
That was so stupid. Did you go home and try it?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. I did. Like, after I got home, that was like the first thing I did when I got home with the theater. I was just like,
well, is it better?
no, not at all. Your hands just get sticky. It's like just fucking lay.
Just that's the best part. Yeah, no, I just I actually figured going into this movie, not knowing anything, I really thought, I'm like, I outside of the trailer that was playing in the theaters, I figured I was gonna hate this cat, and like, oh, he's gonna be the typical, I'm funny, and I felt like he was the best part of the movie.
He really was.
You take him out, and the movie would not have clicked as nearly as well with kids or adults.
For anyone.
Yeah.
He was the only ray of sunshine. It feels so funny to me where it's like, hey, this movie, it's too depressing. Put a cat in it.
Yeah, the best part.
The thing is, like, I think there is like a better movie here if you just remove everything related.
Stop! Just right there. Remove everything.
Remove everything.
It's like
remove everything relating to Toy Story and Buzz Lightyear, and just like rewrite some of the script, and you'll. Have,
I think
like,
that's what happened.
A cool like Pixar space adventure.
I think that's what they were trying to do, but they were just like, oh, just put Toy Story on in front of it. Like, that's like our like game breaker, like shit like that. Because I feel, honestly, like all the stuff we've been talking about now, I really think that they had like a genuine space movie that had nothing to do with like Buzz Lightyear at all. But then like Pixar like made some executive decisions. This was like, Buzz Lightyear is our popular spaceman. Just do that. We'll just throw that. Because like the more we talk about this movie, the more it makes it seem like it doesn't make sense. Like there's so many like holes and gaps, and we say like it doesn't make sense that this would be the movie Andy saw. Like, it just doesn't. Like, if it was his own movie, sure, but like, no.
That reminds me of another thing that I
You know what it should have been? I'm sorry.
No, go on.
If it's like the movie ends and it cuts, just hard cut, and it's Andy wearing his collar's all loose in his business suit, and he's like, and that's my idea, Disney, Pixar for a movie, and what do y'all think? And they're like,
get out of here.
And the movie just cuts.
So another thing that bothered me a lot Sarah kind of said, well, maybe this is why. But I'm like, was when Buzz didn't recognize, he thought that future him was his dad. I'm like, do you not know what your dad looked like? Like, why did you jump to dad?
That was so forced. That was such a forced joke for Toy Story 2.
Toy Story 2 forced joke.
Yeah.
Though there are some people who look just like their dads.
I mean, I get it. Yeah. Yeah.
But it was
I know,
just
that's
like,
what they were
honestly, it just felt like a
going
callback.
But I was like, doesn't he know what his dad looked like? Like the generations don't usually do that, where they don't usually go like, oh yeah, I look exactly like my kid. Like, maybe sometimes, I guess, but...
Cartoons do.
Yeah.
Cartoons?
Well, maybe he's just been a space ranger for so long he hasn't even seen his folks in a very long time.
Right.
Or maybe
Like
the movie's stupid.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was just a stupid tie-in joke, and it didn't. It fell flat. It was just like, okay, whatever.
I will
The
say...
Dirk stuff was such a fucking letdown. So I'm like, cool, we might get a big bad villain for once. And it's like, nope, it's Buzz. And I'm like, I'm so sick of this.
That was silly.
Like,
That was-
when are we allowed to have a villain again, Disney and Pixar? Please.
Yeah. Give us a fucking evil family member again for the 6th time.
Closest thing we got recently was some Italian teenager in Luca, and that's it.
Right!
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah.
What was his name again?
I don't know.
Hercule or something like that. Like almost
Bruno.
Hercules, but it's like Hercule or something like that.
Silencio Bruno. Even though that's something else. I still haven't finished Luca. I need to finish that. Oh, Hero's here. Hero, why don't you tell us what you think of this Lightyear if you saw it?
I had absolutely negative interest. I have
Okay, good.
I was
So
afraid
just-
Hero was going to be like, oh my god, I haven't seen the movie yet, and I didn't want any spoilers, and here I
Oh
am.
my god, how dare.
How do I leave?
Can't believe it.
So you haven't even seen it?
Nah, I'm just sitting here listening to you guys talk about it while I'm searching for a visual novel to read.
Oh, did you see
Another
Jurassic
dating
World?
cinema.
Did I see what?
Jurassic World?
No, I don't watch
No,
things.
he hates those. He hates dinosaurs.
Did you
He
see
talks
live
about it,
action
like,
Lion
in
King?
Momo-
Despises dinosaurs.
He fucking like loathes lizards in general. They just disgust him every time.
This is all very true.
Well,
Yeah.
any last thoughts on Lightyear before we move on?
Can I?
Yeah.
It makes me upset in the way that, like, again, it sort of taints the Toy Story thing. Because, like, again, like, Toy Story, the trilogy was just fantastic. Like, it was a perfect trilogy.
Yeah.
Toy Story 4, again, I'm not going to, like, be completely say, like, it was, I think it does not need to exist and all that stuff. But, like, it is one of those things where I, like, watch and go, it's not bad at all. Like, the thing is, like, it's one of those people, it's like, I don't hate you, you just don't need to be here right now.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is. Like, that's literally how I feel about Toy Story 4. It's just like,
Right.
I can't say in good conscience anything bad about it. It's just like a movie that does not need to exist. This is another one of those situations where it's like, you kind of drop in the Toy Story thing again, where I'm just like, please, like, just let that franchise be. Like, I watched, like, all the shorts that Toy Story put out, like, recently, like, on Disney. Those were fantastic. Those were freaking fantastic, those shorts they did. So it's just like, do more of those, or do something like that.
Yeah, with what Saber said and watching Cell Specs' review, and she said something that I've said for a long time about, like, what they should have done after Toy Story 3 is just keep making shorts and specials of the toys just doing stuff, and that would be fine.
And then introduce Sora so he can fight them.
We didn't need another, like, movie. We didn't need another movie with, like, a major plot point.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Lightyear.
But now,
I was intrigued because I had a coworker who I don't really talk about a lot of movies with, and he's like, "Hey, we need to talk about Lightyear tomorrow." You know, like the night I was seeing it, and I'm like, "Oh, that's interesting." And I'm like, "Hey, so you wanted to talk about Lightyear?" And he's like, "Yeah, so like, I'm not a big movie guy, but I do see like all the Pixar movies." And he was saying that he was seeing how this one was was the lowest rated Pixar movie. against any other Pixar movie that's come out. And I even said worse than Cars 2 because I know how I know how many people hate that movie. Yeah. Now granted this wasn't at the time, but this was still a week and a half after it come out.
There's also, to be fair, like a lot of like the so Christian folks who are like, oh, there's a lesbian couple, so it's the worst movie ever made, and I took my kids and we walked out of the theater. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck off, people like that. Yeah, there's no way Cars 2, because yeah, no, it's just fucked up. I hate when people do shit like that. But yeah, what were you saying, race-based thing? Because I was gonna add on to what you say when you.
Well, I just when he told me that, I also brought up. I'm like, well, this does have another side working against it. I don't know how. See, as a West Coaster, I don't know how predominant that side is, because I know there's a lot of loud people. I always hope that are in the minority with stupid shit like that, where it's like, is this really that big of a deal? I guess to some people, whatever.
Right.
But yeah.
So also,
what's that?
Oh, I was gonna bring up like not just like ratings, but also like how financially it's been doing, because it had a lot going against it.
Yeah. You had like a freaking great movie come out on Disney Plus like a few months ago, so it's just like
like people had been getting used to Pixar having their movies dropped on Disney Plus, because for the last 3 that
that's a fair point too.
Yeah.
And
also it came out when like we have 2 other big franchises having, or not franchises, but one franchise and one like big sequel coming out around the same time. So it's like, oh yeah, people are going to see that, and they're like, Lightyear, I don't know, I want to see those other movies.
Well, Paleo's right. This movie is competing against Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, and it was never, ever gonna have a chance.
Not at all. That's just murder. It's absolute murder. Shit.
But the thing is that it still had the biggest opening weekend, during COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
for an animated movie.
Well, I mean, yeah, I can see that. Cause I mean,
Encanto didn't make it past 50 mil. Like Bad Guys only had like 24 million on its first weekend. So yeah, we're gonna see how Minions does this weekend. I have a feeling that's gonna blow Lightyear out of the water because of just how fucking insanely popular Minions is for some reason, and I fucking hate it.
No, it's like popular with the normies. To like, yeah, kids like
naked minions grinding on each other. Republicans are like, "Oh, this is America."
You have 2 married women kiss, and it's like, oh.
Well, okay, so I laughed because, so first off, one thing I fucking hate, is how if there's going to be something like that in a Pixar or Disney movie or probably any animated movie or what have you, everyone's got to talk about it, which means then Chris Evans has to speak up about it, which means then it's trending on Twitter, which means then, oh great, okay, I know people kiss in this fucking movie. Sweet. I love spoilers. Tell me more.
Yeah.
Now, granted, it ended up being something very early on, and it wasn't a surprise. I laughed that they're like, oh my god, they kissed. But I'm like, yeah, but there's is it just the kiss? There was this whole establishment of literally referring to, I think your girlfriend. They clearly get married.
Yeah,
they clearly
get married. They have kids.
Some people were so confused about the
people. It's like no biggie, but
it would have been good if it was Buzz. Buzz should have been the one to be start making out with, I don't know, the cat.
Do you know how many people would be like? There would be
Buzz makes out with himself.
Do you know how many self-cessed fanfics would come out of that?
Oh my god! This movie missed the ultimate opportunity. Lightyear's in love with himself. That's his problem.
That would have been good.
It's not gay if it's just another me. Oh god, that's good. Any other last thoughts on this movie before we move on to Q&A?
Nah.
All right.
Yeah, it's mid.
Well, we're going to pull down the spoiler screens, and we are going to go ahead and open up Q&A. Now, of course, Super Chats will be prioritized for all of this, so if you send a Super Chat, you know your question's going to get answered, but we also will be taking questions from Twitter, #SPPQuestions.
SPP.
That is where you can send those. And then we'll wrap up the podcast after that. But God, now I'm just thinking about all the opportunity this movie had.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not that well. Again, I know the spoiler screen's down, so I won't get into anything. But opportunity.
Opportunity.
Oh man.
In this very community.
In this very community. Yeah, I can't say opportunity without following it up with that goddamn lyric. Thank you, Daniel Ingram. Well, as anyone, and they could be like really simple or dumb questions, questions that you think have probably been asked before. There we go.
Okay.
Here they come.
Nathaniel Foga asks, have you guys ever been stuck in the airport to the point you had to sleep there overnight? Yes,
Oh my
multiple
God,
times.
No, thank God, no.
I have slept on many airport floors.
Uncomfortable airport.
I feel like you have a much worse percentage
Yeah.
than I do.
I don't know why.
I don't know. There's something about you and I
Being on a trip together.
Yeah.
That just ultimately sometimes just
we get
really-
stuck.
We've been
stuck in Dallas.
Yeah.
We got stuck in Charlotte. The Charlotte one was bad. That was after HomoCon because that one was like.
Oh,
like,
right.
We just had to stay in the airport.
Yeah, I slept on the floor of the airport.
Yeah. There comes a point where you go, my standards have to be lowered.
Yeah.
When you're in an
And like
airport.
it was at that time of like evening when they canceled our flight that like all of the food stuff was closed and I'm just like I am starving.
Yeah, it bothers me a little bit that when you have airports, like especially now, like we have these airports that are like, yeah, all the airlines are fucking you guys over, and yet it's oftentimes impossible to find anything open. Like just have one thing open. Like if you know that you're basically an almost 24-hour airport, I just.
Yeah, recently I also flew. I was flying to Philadelphia to visit my family, but like my flight left at like 5:20 in the morning, and like I had to get there and like so I had to wake up early. Actually, I didn't even go to sleep. Like Steven just drove me to the airport. We just stayed up all night. He drove me there. But I was like, all right, we got here and like let me just get like something to eat, like a muffin or something, and then I'll like get some tea, get on the plane. And the only food place, because it's a small airport, was closed. And I was like, well, fuck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then the connecting flight, right? So I was like, whatever. I have a connecting flight wherever I land. I'm sure stuff will be open by then. No, stuff was not open by then at like 6 something. And I'm like, what the hell? Like this is open. Like the airport's open all day, every day. Why is nothing open?
Right.
Yeah. It. They also have weird hours at airports, but I mean, I could go on for hours.
But so not to get like political or anything, but
Well, that's an opener.
Yeah. yeah. But Bernie Sanders apparently is working on like trying to get airlines to do something.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be the one guy to figure this one out. Not to get political.
Yeah.
Whoa! You've broken him.
You're so bad at this.
I'm sorry, Paley. What were you saying?
Yeah, it's gone.
He's gone.
Goodbye.
Did he leave?
He's out of here.
Sorry, I I was just cracking a joke. It was more so just in regards to, again, and I mean it when I say I'm not trying to be political. It's just like, I feel like there's got to be something to fix fucking airlines. Like, I just don't get it. Like, constant issues. Obviously, the last time I was at the airport, I'm told, hey, yeah, guess what? You get to hang out for 12 freaking hours.
Yep.
And I'm like, seriously, like how? And I've already been on this rant, I think, but just how long do we let airlines get away with this stuff?
They have a monopoly. Like, there's nothing else you can do.
Yeah, there's there's no option. There's no like, well, I'll take the train. It's like, no, you won't. Like, fuck.
Fucking luck.
You called my bluff. We got Base with a super chat here saying next week heading to Virginia to visit family for a bit. Getting flashbacks to watching the HomoCon vlogs and realizing y'all flew into the same airport I do when I go down. Ooh. So, I did like that airport, but we did spend too much time in it.
Yes, we did.
Because of weather. And Charlotte screwed up what time we were going to leave. But it worked out for me.
Yeah.
Because I was an idiot and left my wallet,
yeah,
I think, at the house.
Yep.
Good times.
Yeah, fuck yeah, that was
stressful.
I remember that. It's always stressful when it's like stuff that like is not immediately replaceable too, where it's just like I have to go and get a new ID and then go and get a new credit card and do all that. So like that is just a whole bunch of bullshit.
No, I was super thankful that you guys brought me my wallet after I was like, oh my god, I did. And I had to go through like this whole interrogation thing for them to approve me getting on the flight. And I'm like, they're like, all right, you have to answer these questions, right? What's your name? And I'm like, fuck. Everyone misspells my name.
I mean, Jeff.
We got another super chat here. This one from Fritz Rolle. Hi guys, next week I'm going to be attending my third convention, Florida SuperCon, making this year the most cons I've ever attended. Do you guys remember the year where you attended the most conventions?
Oh. 2018. 2018 for me probably, because I remember it took me a while to get into like the con thing, because for the longest time the only con I would go to is like literally BronyCon like once a year, because I was like in college and working at Burger King and then also like training people. Yeah, so it's just like it was just like I can't go, like, even though it's like right there, so like that's the only con I can go to is like right there. It wasn't until like 2017 I think the first other con I went to besides BronyCon was EQLA, and then I went to 2018. It was just like MomoCon and Anime Expo and BronyCon and DragonCon, and so yeah, that was probably the most like that year was packed. And KameyaCon too. Yeah, shit.
I'm looking it up to be official.
Yeah, he's looking up what his most prolific
35
year.
Okay, I did, let's see, 7 in 2015, but I did 8 in 2016.
And 8 is more than 7.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
So, okay, I'm coming back. So, in 2016 and 2017, it was kind of a tie for me, where I did 8 conventions during both those years. So, yeah, good times. It's funny because in 2018, I only did 3, partially because you and I were doing something in 2018. I don't remember what were we doing in 2018? Something.
Our wedding?
Yeah. We got married.
Y'all are married? Oh, congratulations.
Yeah. And then, but I remember I was like, man, only 3 conventions in 2018. This might be the slowdown. And then I think in 2019 I ended up at 7. So I was like, much better.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the most you've been to, Sarah? Like 2 in a year?
Yeah, probably 2. 2 or 3.
Yeah, maybe yeah.
I don't go as often, but
Yeah.
I enjoy the ones that I go to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Enjoy it.
All right. Let's see here. Do we have any other questions?
Yeah, we got a question from Oziel asking, I don't know the answer to this, but what is your favorite Pixar movies?
Wally.
Well, that's a good
Wally.
one.
Incredibles.
Favorite Pixar movie? Cars 2.
Get out of here.
I think.
It's funny because I watched Paleo and Saber's video about them doing their tier list with Pixar. I was like, I mostly agree, but then vehemently disagree on a few of these.
No, yeah, that was the same way. Where I was just like, this bitch, I'm a whatever.
What you got? What you agree on?
Oh,
hold on,
honestly, Toy Story.
let me look.
4.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Y'all put that really low. I was like, this is actually a pretty good movie. It
Yeah,
just doesn't
it is
need
a
to
good movie.
exist.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that's the thing with Toy Story 4. It's literally just it does not need to exist, but it's good.
Also, you're not putting Wally in the #1 spot.
I'm
I would
scrolling. I'm scrolling through the list right now.
Yeah.
You don't
And-
see Zootopia.
Hi, Gabe.
Hi.
Gabe is here. You missed our
Bro,
rant
it's
about
almost
dinos.
It's almost a full podcast. Oh my god.
Look at that. Hi, Gabe. By the way, we one additional super chat from Fritz Rowley saying, also, I promise to get Living Tombstone to say hi. It makes it sound like he disowned us or like a child that ran away.
I could just text him and get him to say hi.
But thank you, Fritz
Hi,
Rowley.
hi.
Do what you must. Do what you must. I'm looking through the whole list of Pixar movies because I feel like whenever I answer these questions, let's see, Inside Out.
You can just say Wally. It's fine.
Just say Incredibles 1.
I think
'cause
Wally
of
and
thick-ass
Ratatouille are
Elastigirl.
kind of tied for me.
What was the other one?
Incredibles 2.
Finding
I do-
Dory
I do
because Gabe's in it.
I want to give an honorable mention.
Correct answer.
Oh, what were you saying, Sarah?
I want to give an honorable mention to Monsters University because I feel like it's a very
Yes.
underappreciated film.
I like it,
and I enjoy it a lot.
Movie.
It's better than the
separate
first
in our-
one.
It's separate, in our friend group. I feel like most people are like, but yeah, it's pretty fucking good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've been compiling a list of my favorite soundtracks from animated films, and I got into the Monsters University soundtrack, and I'm like, damn. The college, high school, drum beat aesthetic is just it's so good.
It's what you want. Again, just looking through this list, I'm like, damn, yeah. Pixar makes
There's
good.
a lot of
Incredibles 2
I
because
do.
of thick ass Elastigirl.
I was gonna say I do think that Cars really does hold a special place in my heart.
Because of the flashing scene.
Yes, and nothing else.
Because NASCAR.
Yeah, I mean, just my connection with what that was kind of going for. But I also am gonna say, there's something about Finding Nemo that just makes me feel like, wow, it's really nice.
It's Thomas
That's a great
Newman.
film.
Thomas Newman's music. It's perfect for underwater movies.
It is. So I'm just like, yes. By the way, speaking of underwater, Nora Mermaid sends a super chat saying, he's alive! Hi, Gabe. Hugs and kisses.
Hi, Nora.
Elwin said it's what got me into racing.
For Cars.
For Cars.
Nora did?
No.
Elwin.
Nice.
We
Yeah,
know Nora loves racing.
I think those are my answers. And yeah. So, was that the last question we're gonna hit up here?
Let's see here. Let me.
I feel like I have a bad opinion on Finding Nemo. Everyone's just like, yeah, the best, the second best, or the third best. I'm like, fifth.
Because you hate
That's
sharks
okay.
and dinosaurs.
I'm similar on Finding Nemo. I'm just kind of like with all of the other films that are out there now. I'm like, I'm
don't know
less
if-
likely to rewatch Finding Nemo. I feel like.
I don't know if this has ever been discussed, but I feel like, for me at least, Pixar has a problem where their main character is extremely annoying and not likable. I can't stand Marlin. I can't stand Remy. I can't stand Woody. Like,
But what about Lightyear and Lightyear? Can you stand Lightyear and Lightyear?
No, he's
I haven't
like the
seen
worst.
Lightyear yet. But
Oh,
I
yeah, you shouldn't
like
watch it.
Buzz, so I'm sure I'll like it.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Okay.
I've been avoiding space movies for obvious reasons.
Yeah. Here.
Sure.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's fine.
That's
my trigger
Well, you
word,
might
Jax.
identify with Buzz in this film then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. Well, I love Chris Evans, so I'm sure I'm gonna love it. But
Yeah, Chris Evans is hot.
yeah, he is.
No, I'm
He
straight.
challenges
That is my.
greatness for sure.
No, I seriously. If he had, nah, who am I kidding? He's too good for me. All right, so yeah.
Also, while I was making my list, I was actually surprised at how high Turning Red was. I was like, I think I really like this movie.
Yeah, it's good.
Well, Turning Red is fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Like that is a
Seen that yet?
solid
I wanna
film.
see
Like,
that.
dude, Gabe, you gotta watch it. It's like
I want to
phenomenal.
see Turning Red, and I want to see the bad guys. Like
The Bad Guys.
That guy's such a pretty movie, my
It's a
god.
good movie. Yeah.
It's
Very
pretty.
I love
Mid.
Top Gun.
It's a decent
Wow.
film.
It's like a 6 out of 10. It's good.
It's predictable, but it's good. It's pretty. But I'm sorry.
Wait, now
who was
what movie are
talking?
we talking about now?
Bad guys.
The
Oh,
Bad
okay.
Guys.
Yeah.
I don't know whether to call it a 6 or a 7. It's hard
I'd
for
say,
me.
honestly,
What's up?
no. Go ahead.
No, I feel like 6 always gets such a bad rap. It's like that's low. It's like 6 is above average. Like it's, don't
I would call it a
forget.
7.
You think a 7? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
7 to
7 because of
7.5.
6 is
animation.
barely above average. That's a polite person's 5.
Well, put that in there.
Yo, throw that in quotes.
I'm calling you out, Hero.
Polite person's 5.
6 is a polite person's 5. I'll put that in quotes right now. 6 is a polite person's 5.
I hate it because it's so true.
6.
Oh gosh.
Is 6.
Well, I guess Gabe, since you are here, I'll just give you a minute or two here. I asked everyone else, but anything new with you?
Yeah, but I'm not allowed to talk about it. So, good stuff. I'll say good stuff, and I'll let you guys extrapolate from there.
Cool.
There's good stuff that is new.
Nice.
You're
So
pregnant.
it's, you're right. Oh my God.
I knew it. Very good. Well,
Yeah,
is there
good
anything
but
that you
busy.
can talk about that's new, or you just staying busy as usual?
I saw a coral snake crossing the road last night, and I really wanted to pick it up. And it was doing a little cloaca pop, which is kind of creepy
Ew.
and weird that they do that. Yeah, I know, it's gross. It's
What?
literally the fart of death.
Cloaca.
Ew.
Sounds crunchy.
It's not.
It's not.
No. It's just a word that sounds like.
What? Sounds good.
Hey, actually, Jax, you should know what that is. You're into snake buttholes.
I know. I know them all too well. That's why I know from experience. I'm not gonna go there.
Whoa!
Right here, officer. Right here.
Right here.
You'll never catch me alive.
Well, cool. Glad to hear that you're seeing snakes.
Yep, I'm seeing snakes.
So
It's
that's,
been great.
that's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't really have anything. I flew the other day, and nothing eventful happened other than the fact that I flew.
You don't have to apologize.
Yeah,
I think our update, Sarah and my update, was not really
Playing
anything.
video games.
We've been playing video games, so
Oh, I've been playing Halo. I've been replaying Halo, rediscovering my love for the Halo franchise.
Nice.
2 and 3 are
Yes.
definitely the best Halo games.
Yeah.
Infinite's pretty good though.
I don't have an Xbox.
I just can't imagine Gabe playing games for some reason. I don't know why.
Because it's him sitting down and sitting
It's him
still.
sitting down, yeah.
Is him like
see me.
not?
Huh?
I put my 3 favorite snacks in a circle around me, and I have my shirt off, and I just eat during the cutscenes, but I only do it at 2 a.m. when literally nothing else is
That's when
possible.
you do everything, right?
Saber,
Right.
did you say you had a question?
Yeah, so vibe check me here. When y'all were growing up, did your parents ever get you big gifts for your birthday or Christmas?
Christmas, yeah.
Oh yeah. Every
Christmas,
time.
yeah.
But then they kind of stopped after a while, maybe for some folks. But I'm half tempted to walk up to my dad,
like, hey dad, I want an Xbox for Christmas. I guess just as an adult, as a 34-year-old man, I'll be like, Father, I want an Xbox. Mom, I want a bike.
Right.
Absolutely. Yep. Well, I know.
We'll see how that goes.
They'll get it for you.
They would.
The way we approach, like, because we still do like the Christmas present exchange and all that. What I will do is sometimes I'll just say like, hey, if you would like to contribute money towards something,
Patreon,
and then I'll do nudge nudge wink wink contribute nudge nudge nudge,
Mm-hmm.
and then Sarah's like, here's $1. I'm like,
The way my family does it is we're so like even with our spending at this point that we basically may as well just get something for ourselves. Like we're very particular about what we want. We have Amazon wish lists, and everyone, Nate will message me and be like, hey, you want to add $200 to this, and then we'll go even on that, and then we'll be like, yeah, and then since you're going $200 on this other thing for me, we'll just call that even. And it's just it's so meticulous, it's almost not fun anymore.
Well, I just laugh how Gabe's like, yeah, we try to, we keep it fairly casual, like we'll just get our family a cruise with an 85-inch TV.
No, those were 2 separate years.
Oh, okay, sorry.
We'll get a giant hamster ball to roll down the street.
We did do that. Wow.
I remember.
You guys
Also, are you outside?
I am. I'm on a walk.
Yes.
He's looking for that snake.
He's getting that list cardio.
There you go.
That snake, that's not the poisonous one, is it?
Coral snakes, yes, they are poisonous.
Okay.
Of
I
course.
thought.
Gabe doesn't interact with stuff that won't kill him.
To be fair, I did not touch the snake. I got close to it. I got a picture of it. I did want to. Yes, I did.
We got one more super chat coming in here.
From Anime Guy,
yeah.
saying, fave and least fave game you've played on Ready Player Dumb. Ooh.
Oh,
and speaking of Ready Player Dumb, we'll have an announcement here in just a moment.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this. We have an announcement. Shit.
Favorite game on Ready Player Dumb. I feel like It Takes Two is taking the top spot. It previously was the game made by the same studio as It Takes Two. It was A Way Out. And that was like one of the first games that we played on the channel.
That was so much fun. I didn't know what to expect.
They are so good at making cooperative games.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they are.
It Takes Two was just a fantastic game. Like we didn't want it to end. We were just like, oh, let's keep playing this game. And unfortunately, some games do come to an end, and we're just like, man, that was such a good experience.
Yeah.
It's my favorite so far. Least favorite.
I can think of a couple.
Chain of memories. Chain of memories.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Chain of Memories in Kingdom Hearts. I just was so mad. I'm like, how dare they? The audacity of them to do this. But I think one of the all-time frustrating games is one that's airing right now, which was Driver 3. Like, people were like,
People were warning us not to play Driver 3.
Don't play that one. And I had never played it before, and I'm like, I can't just skip this.
Yeah.
And it didn't take long for me to be like, I wish I had just skipped this.
But it's making for great content because a lot of glitches and wild stuff happens.
I do enjoy glitches.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, until it fucks me over. And then I'm like, God damn it!
So there's no way you could know at all, but I'm still looking for visual novels to read. And I already forgot what you said, but I think you were like, there's no way I couldn't, and then I read the title of this game and it said, Be a Dick. And I was like, oh, that's the name of the name of this VN.
That's
Incredible.
it? That's it. And by the way, this is the perfect segue.
Yeah.
Anime Guy must have known that we were going to bring up a Ready Player Dumb announcement.
Yeah.
This Friday.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Sarah?
This Friday at 6 p.m. PST, we're going to be streaming My Little Pony: A Maritime Bay Adventure.
We're doing it.
Yeah. We're going to do
Maritime Bay Adventure?
Yeah. It's the new My Little Pony video game. We're going to be playing it.
So it'll be on Ready Player Dumb, 6 p.m. Pacific time. That's 9 p.m. Eastern, and I don't know the rest. because I'm
9
an
p.m.
adult who
Man.
never figured this out and never lived
Wonder what
not
they're
on a
gonna use those
coast.
assets for.
What?
What? No, I didn't say anything.
Oh. Maritime Bay. Hell yeah. But yeah, we're going to be diving into that. So make sure to tune in Friday night. We'll be live, interacting with the chat, and having fun with that. I know that there's other games that, as we were talking about early on in the podcast, that we got to play soon with some folks. Or Jax is excited about his turtles.
Yeah, heck yeah, I like
Ninja
turtles.
Turtles. And then
like
our patrons voted on Bigfoot for us to play for a monthly game. So we're going to be playing that here soon.
Yeah.
We're going to be hunting Bigfoot.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff gearing up here, so. Well, I think that's a wrap here on the podcast.
Perfect podcast.
The Semi-Perfect podcast. We'll be back in 2 weeks, Sarah. When is 2 weeks from now?
2 weeks from now is going to be...
That is
12th?
July
July
13th.
13th. Ah.
So close.
Oh, what comes out?
Something comes out on that day?
No, it's a me thing. Don't worry about it.
But we'll be back on the 13th
Yep.
on the
You're
Semi-Perfect podcast. We want to thank all of our podcasters for tuning in here tonight and joining us. What did you do?
I forgot to bring up our super chatters. I'll do that here.
Yep, we're going to thank our super chatters, but thank you to our live audience and everyone listening on delay. And we're going to thank our super chatters here in just one moment when it is pulled up. We're going to say thank you to you, you super chat, super people.
All right, thank you, Anime Guy 01, Nora Mermaid, Fritz Rowley, Base, and I think that is everybody who did a super chat today.
Cool. Well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for your generosity, and we'll see you in 2 weeks on the Semi-Perfect podcast. You all have a good night.
And Pony.
Bye.
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 All right, guys, I'm
Can't say
heading out.
fine.